floor plan. The second Oregon Racing Association sanctioned event in its short history. We are here back with the same 24 marbles, ready to traverse an entire house full of a giant obstacle course. It's simple, 24 marbles, one winner, first one across the checkered flag will win. I mean, it's not really a flag, but you know what I mean. There's several different places they're going to have to go, starting with the cardboard, the laundry room, the playroom, the den, the office, the living room, the kitchen, the bedroom, the bathroom, the other bedroom, the master bedroom, I should say, and then another office, another bathroom to close things out. A big journey the marbles have ahead of them, and we are ready to take you all through it. 24 marbles, one winner. Who will it be? You can see there, Hot Pink's going to be in prime position to start things off. Yellow's going to be battling with him. Purple trying to get on the inside there. Purple and Black end up going through into the car. It's not where they want to go. Hot Pink trying to traverse the minefield of washers and dryers. Yellow, it looks like, is going to become the benefactor of it. Yellow's going to make his way into the playroom. A lot of toys he's going to have to traverse through, while the others are still getting stuck in the spin cycle. Hot Pink now having some issues. Actually, not issues, the opposite of that. Teal's also joining Yellow in the playroom. Teal's actually going really well through there. Oh, but gets caught up there. Hot Pink gets launched into the den. Hot Pink is our current leader, except Teal's going to undercut him. Orange, it looks like, has made a big move while we were focusing on the battle for first. Orange is going to go on Hot Pink there for second. Teal's into the next section of the den, however you choose to call it. Hot Pink, though, is now going to be following him, and it looks like it's on the inside. Orange is going to be battling right with him. 6 marbles in contention for the lead of the race right now. Hot Pink, it looks like, is going to be the big benefactor out of all of this. White, though, is going to try to make a move. Hot Pink, it looks like, is going to survive a bit more, but it's still very close. Hot Pink trying to play defense, but does the opposite. Now Maroon and Teal are in the catbird seat. Hot Pink, though, does manage to make up some ground, regain his position. Now, this is one of the easier sections of this, one of the closer sections. As we traverse further down into the various bedrooms and offices, it'll become harder. There'll be a lot more strategic options at play. See Hot Pink, Yellow, and Teal forming sort of a breakaway over the peloton, if you will. Teal thought he'd get out to a lead there, and Yellow doing the same, albeit not successfully. Actually, never mind, he was successful. Yellow's in first, but Teal charging right behind him. Teal to the front, and now he's into the office. So now at the office, you gotta stay to the left. Otherwise, or actually, you have to stay to the right, sorry. If you stay to the left, you're gonna have to go back the opposite direction, which is the fate for Teal, Yellow, Hot Pink, and many of the entering marbles before they go back the other way. Now, if they go back the other way and go through the passageway where my cursor is, they will end up going through PTO, and we'll only have a moment. Let's get the live telemetry on Teal. Yeah, you can see Teal fluctuating around the 5 to 6 meters per second range while he's picking up the speed, going between the various pieces, manages to get up to 9 there. You can see the hard impacts going almost down to 0 there at the bottom, making things difficult to maintain consistency. And you can see there, Yellow, I thought he had a chance. He still might have a chance. It's going to be borderline. Yellow, though, is going to be staying in the office. Doesn't get to go on break yet. Yeah, interesting to see the telemetry. Teal still getting caught up. No one's made it through this office segment yet. And we now have 8 marbles in it. Potentially soon to be 9. It looks like some of the water in the kitchen escaped. Yellow's going to get PTO. Now Hot Pink. The pressure is on for him. Except Hot Pink gets careened over to the other side. Hot Pink's got no chance of making it out of the office today. So Yellow's going to be enjoying a decent-sized lead. Pink almost there. You can see him trying to get through. Maroon does the same thing, got majorly benefited by Tan. So now the race is on for Maroon. There's a bit of diverging pathways in some spots. If you go too far on the bottom here, you could end up with some household chores, which Yellow does manage to avoid, but Maroon, it almost is likely for him. Now Yellow's in this funnel area, trying to enter the kitchen, which, there he goes. Now the kitchen, it's hard to traverse unless you have someone to work with. We've done some testing on this track, and yeah, the kitchen is one of the more difficult places. Yellow almost stuck there, but manages to survive. You can see Maroon maybe stuck in those household chores. Might get stuck for a little while. Hot Pink and Yellow are now probably going to be battling in the kitchen. Their combined efforts will probably benefit themselves. This is good for Yellow. This race has been sort of random so far, so yeah, every little bit of strategy helps. And they want to get through as fast as possible because marbles like Pink and Blue are going to be hot on their tails. And it looks like they have a couple of unexpected stoppages. You can see Forrest stuck there, I think because some of his gravity was wrong, as Yellow makes it through the kitchen. Same with Tan. I think that they had an unintended impact somewhere. Now Yellow, it looks like, is stuck on the wall. Interesting stuff is happening here. Yellow getting stuck. He's going to have to require some sort of outside assistance if he wants to continue in his race. And he's going to have to rely on marbles like Maroon, who just is now going to be making it out of the kitchen into the guest room. It's a pretty chaotic room. Guess so he's going in and out. And there goes Maroon. He makes that push on Yellow. Yellow's race might have just gotten saved there. Yellow into another funnel area. Maroon getting stuck in the bathroom. But Yellow's going to have the advantage. Hot Pink struggling after a good start. Also haven't really gotten many tabs on former leader Teal recently. You can see getting stuck in the office. Although it looks like might just be getting out of there. Maroon trying to traverse the bathroom. The bathroom, there's no benefit to going through it. And Yellow stuck again! Maroon, now, I will say, this section we are going into here is arguably the hardest of the entire floor plan. It's the master bedroom, and it's harder to get through than a master lock that you don't know the key of. Maroon has time. You can see Pink's the only one in the prior segment, with Blue and Hot Pink struggling through the kitchen. And there you can see, Maroon's into the gauntlet. Let me try to get some more live telemetry here. Sorry, it's a bit difficult to get our live telemetry here. Yeah, you can see shooting up to 11 meters per second as he exits there, was straddling around the 1 to 2.5 meter per second range previously. Now it's a bit more random. He's stuck in this gear area, not where he wants to be. Meanwhile, Pink's in the closet. But yeah, Maroon briefly up to 15.5 meters per second. That's going to be a big impact. Might leave him disoriented a bit. Might make his ultimate underlying goal a bit more difficult to accomplish. Blue is now joining Pink here in the guest room. Now the master bedroom, it's similar to the kitchen where it's easier to do if you have some sort of confidant. And now Blue is stuck on a gear. I know this track does have high attrition, but the marbles are getting stuck in places where they don't usually. Sorry for not really moving the telemetry quicker, but we're seeing some unforeseen obstacles, ones we did not see in testing. Now Blue is stuck, Silver is stuck. We don't have active course marshals here, so Blue and Silver, that's going to be a big challenge for them. Now Pink and Maroon to really fit into that gutter area. Pink's going to now try again to get into the correct area. Doesn't manage to, but Pink goes on to the other direction, hoping that this will benefit it. You can see those spikes pointing in a particular direction that should help them get through the course. However, as I said, this is notoriously a hard section to get through. As Pink exits, Yellow's now going to join the area that Maroon is. So the threesome of the two and Pink are maybe going to have an easier time as a collective. Silver going through wildly quickly there. So now Silver is in the de facto first place. Yellow into the gutter. Now Silver's going to be going back, and as I say that, manages to get through the section again. I know this is difficult, so whoever makes it through here is first is likely going to be the race winner. And it just proves why having a good setup in all these earlier sections is crucial to a good result. And Maroon there, I thought he had made it through, got caught up on the weird exit. Now Maroon's stuck again. Silver into the gutter. Now Lavender's joined them. Silver back where he wants to be now. Although he's sort of in a stalemate. Maroon made an effort there, doesn't get it. Yellow now making an effort, once again, fails. White's our next candidate for success. White's made it through one row. Almost made it through two, however I think I might be sent back into the general commons. Yeah, there's 6 marbles in said general commons. Teal's stuck in a similar manner to what yellow was earlier. Looks like whichever marble is stuck here, I don't remember which, got unstuck, replaced by Seafoam. But yeah, Marble's struggling to get through here. It'll be interesting to see as this race progresses who will end up being that successful marble. And Silver's trying to make it himself. And Lavender's there to join him. Lavender doesn't manage an overtake, does manage to get some help from Peach. Or wait, no, that's Pink, sorry. Lavender goes backwards, but it causes Silver to go forwards. Cyan now into the gutter. Lavender into the gutter. There's more gutters than I would have expected here. White's now going to be joining Silver. White makes the overtake. Yellow also makes the overtake. Yellow's now through a second row, trying to make it a third. Although getting caught up in the second again. Going backwards, but now forwards. Forwards and backwards, alternating between the two. And now yellow has to go back a row, but is through another row. This is playing out interesting for yellow fans. Yellow's through another row. One row to go, and he almost botched it. Yellow trying to get the perfect angle, but it's not working out. Several marbles are into the row. Silver's now going to be trying to overtake him. Everything going on now. And pink somehow launches himself into the diagonal barriers. Pink's race is suddenly over. So much crazy stuff happening in the floor plan. I knew this was bound to happen, especially since there was a fix in the last stages of preparation. Did cause some increased battling, but still, Hot Pink's now made an overtake over yellow, and Hot Pink's into the final room. Hot Pink's gonna have to try to make it into this passageway, avoid the red gear, and then he's home free. Hot Pink, though, going the wrong direction. Now, in the battle for second, yellow and green are now battling, and Hot Pink, this might be a victory run here. Hot Pink through the final funnel, needs to avoid that red block. Will he? No! Hot Pink has to reset. Silver, though, I think he might be joining him. Hot Pink's going to have another attempt, though, at victory before Silver joins him, and fails again. Yellow, though, it looks like it's going to replace what we thought would end up being Silver. Yellow, it looks like it's going to try to go low. Aim for victory. Yellow, through the funnel. Will yellow do it? No. Gotta be very accurate. There's a lot of finesse associated with that final gear. Can't lose focus even when victory is right upon you. And Hot Pink's got another chance. Will Hot Pink get the victory? Gets held up. Try to use that as a strategy. Gets pushed back. Hot Pink, a bit of some weird stuff with the gravity, and Hot Pink is through. Hot Pink, but will Silver overtake him? Silver's trying for the overtake. Not gonna happen. Hot Pink, it was looking very close there in the end, but ultimately will end up taking the victory, assuming no absolute crazy shenanigans occurs. Yes, Hot Pink is going to be our winner here today. Silver, it looks like, is going to be the inevitable second Seafoam. Wow. Made a big gap up. Yellow got stuck on another gear. Again, that didn't happen during testing. It looks like it's going to be taking Seafoam with him. Guess that's what ends up happening on a high attrition track, especially once the winner's already been decided. So now Lavender's going to try for the bronze, I would have to assume. I think he's probably going to get it, assuming he doesn't hit that red block, which he manages to avoid. Yes, Lavender is going to be rounding out the podium today. So let's fast forward things so we can get our final results. Yeah, it looks like Magenta is going to be trying for fourth, maybe going to push Seafoam and Yellow out, and ends up failing on the gear again. Yeah, it looks like Magenta's through. Magenta's going to get fourth. It's getting more populated now. Seafoam is probably going to get fifth, but Purple ends up undercutting him. Seafoam's only going to get sixth. Purple gets the fifth spot. Yellow, assuming no crazy shenanigans happens, which it doesn't, is going to get seventh. Looks like a couple of more failed gear attempts is going to lead Gray to the 8th position. Now Seafoam is working his way through, or is that That's Lime, sorry. They look similar. Lime's going to get 9th. Green is going to hold on for 10th. Marbles now, the later of them are now making it through. Orange and White are struggling to find the entranceway. Let me bump it up to the full 10 here. White now getting stuck on a gear. Speaking of which, Seafoam and Yellow, I don't know how they managed to unstuck their gear, but things can happen that are unexpected in Era competition. And as I said, they are now unstuck. White 11th, Orange is the likely 12th placer. Now I think there's only a few more marbles that are still racing. Yeah, I think everyone at this point has vacated the end sections, except for the stopped marbles. We are just waiting for these stragglers. Not sure what real motivation they got at this point, especially considering that they're in the garbage time of 10x speed, but I mean, there's still pride among the four of them. They've probably been working hard the entire race, despite some perhaps subpar outcomes. Maroon's gonna get 13th. Sky Blue, after a couple of failed attempts, is probably gonna get our 14th spot, except gets stuck on a gear. So Brown is probably gonna have a chance for the 14th. You know what, we will just call it here. Brown has been going for long enough. I don't know what he's got going on. So stop marbles, Reds and Olive both stuck in the carport. That is probably decently demoralizing. No one's stuck here, no one's stuck here. You can see Forest and I believe that is Tan were stuck the entire time on those couple of barriers because of some weird gravity mechanics. Then Black is stuck here, Teal here, and then Pink, Blue, and Cyan on the corner pieces, and Sky Blue stuck on the gear. So that is going to more than likely do it. We just have to wait for Brown to finally cross that finish line, which he manages to in the 14th position. So thank you for watching. Apologies for all the attrition. I was not expecting that. But I assume this was a very exciting race. Nonetheless, thank you for watching. I will see you next time, whenever that next time may be.